Emerge from your cocoon.
Repay.
Eternal.
Receive divinity.
Grace and elegance.
Show me your courage. Burn it all.
May death protect us!
Use all your might. Forever do it. Through my blood. Burn it all.
May wandering souls find their own way out.
Sound lingers.
Let's wait.
Really now? This is way more trouble than I could have... or you could sit back and watch. I'm kidding, Danny. Lend me a hand, pretty please. All right, now...
Repay.
Existence is unity. Every petal. All will be swept away by the wind.
Dying soul, I'll accept your punishment. Use all your might. Burn it all. I am struck. Forever doomed.
Wilt hear.
Bloom. I can't die, but thanks.
The Black Tide is remarkably quick to detect the light of Amphorius. So or rather, the blessings of the Sky Priest in me, might have unknowingly called them to me. Anyway, never mind that for now. Here, you might want to have a look at this. I found it around here and thought it might be of interest to you. This is new. I didn't know Professor Anaxa was researching the sky. He's never mentioned anything about it. Might is an understatement. Anaxa has never been one to venerate the gods, nor has he ever found it within himself to put any faith in the prophecy. People have come to think of him as a heretic. Yet, it is also this very blasphemer that Circe's favors. Fate sure works in mysterious ways. Oh, let me have a look. By the looks of them, these scrolls are records of two conversations that took place in the same setting, one after the other. Sure, go ahead. The Grove of Epiphany is home to 7 schools of thought. While all 7 schools are founded on the ideologies of Thalesis, the first scholar, each is unique in its own way. Among them, the Venerationists revere and worship the Titans the most. As the sage of the Venerationists, Euthyphro has always been at loggerheads with Anaxa. If we were to place the 7 sages on the scales of Talanton, Anaxa and Euthyphro would be placed on opposite sides to achieve balance. Nearly everyone in Amphorius has heard the story of the skyships by now. Aquila's stature is loftier than the heavens, and their divine retribution is merciless. That's why it's no use building giant skyfaring ships. Oh, but I do wonder if a supercharged mini treaty cannon could slip past their watch. Newsporists primarily study the application of alchemy in soul repair. Everyone considers Anaxa a blasphemer, but that has never stopped him from sharing his ideas, no matter how taboo. If you must say that he's hiding something, then it's likely what lies beneath his eye patch. Anaxa often says that every failure brings us one step closer to the truth. Perhaps, to him, the crash of the skyship carries a different interpretation. The firmament is not impenetrable. On the contrary, it was precisely because the skyship represented the first step toward breaking free from the shackles of the earth that it provoked the wrath of the Sky Titan and brought divine punishment upon itself. It's a shame that the majority of the Grove's research on Aquila was headed by the Venerationists, with sacrificial rituals making up a predominant part of their findings. Discourse about more esoteric subject matters in relation to Aquila dwindled even further after the skyship incident. So much so that even this scroll is completely new to me. That's what I'd like to know. What are these experiments he's involved in? Even I, the assistant lecturer, know next to nothing about them. I have a bad feeling about this. Could there be more to what happened at the Grove? This is the Library of Philia, a place where the Grove stores its collection of tomes. Other than books written by the 7 schools, you can also find philosophical texts, ballads, and religious writings from the Outlands here. We've had more than our fair share of hilarious episodes over the years. For instance, it's said that the Erythrocheramists once borrowed a manuscript from a certain author, but ended up returning a copy instead of the original. Nice? No need to hold yourself back, Danny. You can just tell it like it is. Their behavior was no different from bandits. Whew, you've got me there. Some said you couldn't even find a dictionary in Castrum Kremnos, so I guess they were spared. There are too many books in the Library of Philia. Flipping through them all will take too long. Why don't we use the biblioslate to search for the texts we need? We can bring them back to Occama for reading after that. here. Whoa. Are these all complaints about him? I can already see what they must have written. Anaxa has no respect for the gods. His very existence undermines order in our society. They're probably all things like that. Why else would they call him the great performer? When Anaxa established his school of thought, the first thing he apparently did was read his own work to everyone. Are the Titans truly an accurate reflection of what humans think gods should be? Worlds created by gods are indubitably perfect, but what of Emporius? Only foolishness and insensitivity everywhere you turn. They marched him straight to the seat of judgment before he could finish. Though what he took on in the end was more of a debate than an actual trial. He had to address every one of the scholar's allegations, or face expulsion from the grove. The first allegation was... Do you agree that since the Titans created the heavens and earth, so the mountains, rivers, and seas must likewise be their creations? Anaxa would have probably been spared a lot of trouble if he had answered this way. Instead, he quoted past instances of the Flame Chase journey and posited that humans have the potential to take over the divinity of Titans. Needless to say, his critics didn't take kindly to his answer, so they followed up with a second allegation. You claim to be studying souls, yet you are, in fact, defiling them and committing acts condemned by the gods. Do you admit it? Anaxa always wears an eye patch, never removing it, even when alone. Some say he used one of his eyes as an alchemical ingredient. Every being in the world owes their safekeeping to Kifili, and this is even more so for the Chrysos heirs who have divine blood coursing through them. If he has really done something of that nature, then it'd indeed be sacrilegious. Thankfully, they had no way to prove it, so it amounted to nothing more than an allegation in the end. One by one, Anaxa engaged in wars of words against those who would challenge him. Toward the end, a scholar asked him, Anaxagoras, have you any respect for the gods? It was only after a brief silence that he answered, I have never denied that Titans are meant to be noble constructs. Yes, I'm not sure how that controversy was eventually resolved, but what's for certain at least is that Anaxa was allowed to stay in the grove where he continued his research, despite being regarded as a heretic. By the way, this stack of complaint letters has reminded me of a place in the grove. We may find clues there that aren't on the teleslate. I'm talking about Anaxa's alchemy lab, hidden between the cornerstones. It's a well-kept secret. Among the 7 sages, excluding the nominal chief sage, each has a private sanctuary where they can conduct research undisturbed in their free time. Even the administrators of the Library of Philia are restricted from accessing those places and documenting the sage's research. With the grove in this state, I'm sure Anaxa won't be mad even if we sneak into the lab for a short while. this is the place. But where is everything? Materials for alchemical experiments, matrix diagrams, and even the seal to the lab. They're all gone. The No, not even close. Not only are alchemy experiments high-risk activities, but Professor Anaxa also has a penchant for using bizarre materials. Students often saw him walk in looking right... Huh? That bookshelf over there seems to be the only thing... What's going on? Anaxa is conducting research on our... It wouldn't have been so strange if he had focused only on Cassie, given her own curiosity about her origins. Plus, considering that the new sporists have crafted omnipotent medicines capable of curing diseases, it also makes sense that he would conduct research on immortal Chrysos heirs. But now, it seems Anaxa's objective was never to create medicine, but to identify the origin of the golden blood and figure out its inner workings. Danny, look at this. I have a bad feeling about... My biggest fear. It's come true. After Anaxa was carrying out experiments on... Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on. Something he had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his public speeches, this is the real blasphemy. Oh, I just thought of something. Do you remember when the Black Tide was approaching? The Grove had planned to send Circe's core flame to a safe place. But an accident happened along the way, and Anaxa lost his life in the process? That's right. But what if Professor Anaxa's fusion with the core flame of reason was... Put yourself in his shoes. Knowing that the Black Tide was closing in and your time was running out, what would you... Exactly. When the Black Tide came, the true reason Anaxa headed to the Luminary Throne was to transmute and fuse himself with the Titan's core flame. No. Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came as a surprise. Maybe he failed to consider the possibility that Circe's would make a similar decision. The manuscripts detailing all the alchemical formulae have been taken away. His research is still ongoing. Like, what? There's only one Titan left in the world now. No. No way. He's after Kefali.
Sir, this sky above us, it's not real, is it?
Of course not. This is just an image from a projection device used for educational purposes. A simple trick. The day-night cycle has been lost to this world. So that students like you may still learn about the night sky, astronomers have harnessed the Titan's miraculous power to manipulate the light, projecting the nights of the past here for you. Much like how the sky above the Holy City is also illuminated by Kefali's dawn device.
So, the skies of Akama are fake too.
You mustn't conclude that, Anaxa. You should know that only a child would expose a trick and be proud of it. Often people know more than they let on. They simply choose to feign ignorance because they have no other choice.
Then they're just deluding themselves. People believe in Kefali's tale of Genesis, accepting wholesale whatever the priests preach. But we're different. We have already realized that we live in a world where Titans make the rules. Even when we look at the sky, we're only seeing what they allow us to see. Rather than gazing at this mockery of a night sky fabricated by them for the rest of my life, why shouldn't I be the one to take control of the projection device instead?
So much time has passed since you sowed the seeds of doubt in my heart, child. Many a night, I find myself penning down all my theories and wild ideas.
Why? Because we'll face death by burning if word gets out?
As a sage of the Venerationists, my soul has already become inextricably linked to the great tree. Every word I say and every move I make is certain to influence every leaf, every branch, even the tree. But above all else, my days are numbered. Instinctively, I have my doubts about the golden blood and the human soul, yet I have no means of verifying them. The golden blood in my veins is woefully thin, and I am loath to waste what little time I have left obsessing over a hypothesis that cannot even be proven in the first place.
But I can, sir. I can do it for us. The time is right. Give me all that I need, and I shall accomplish this grand feat on your behalf.
You're right. I shall do just that. In the next meeting of the sages, I will spare no efforts fighting for the rights you deserve. Go. Establish your own school of thought. Find out what we are. Become the one who conquers the ultimate truths of the world.
Child of humanity, you didn't go to such lengths for an audience with Kefali. Just ask him a few questions, did you?
So, you figured it out. If I were as foolish as a Dromus, perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness, begging for the gods' prophetic wisdom. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I'm no Dromus. Alas, I am a human, standing tall on 2 feet, possessing both intellect and pride.
Before such power, does it make any difference whether you're a human or a Dromus?
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When the raging waves threatened to swallow them, they didn't just give up and become sitting ducks. No. They constructed a dam that kept the roaring tide at bay, chaining down the mad Fagusa. They call me a blasphemer, Circes. But that doesn't mean I deny the existence of gods. It's just... As I see it, Titans are simply a force that mankind has yet to find a way to tame.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you crave, why not conform to the prophecy and brave the trial?
Why stop at harnessing the power of the Titans when I can do so much more? The source of life is what I wish to grasp, to understand what makes up the soul, and to learn what we really are. Thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed ceases to exist in death. But where there is death, there is life. And where there is an end, there must also be a beginning. How then is a soul born? That was the only unknown variable left in my calculations.
And by the sound of it, you have already formed a conjecture.
No, I have already drawn a conclusion. In my journey unto death just now, I finally saw the answer with my own eyes.
Professor Anaxa, I'm here. Her life hangs by a thread. I must ask you to refrain from taking any unnecessary steps.
Of course. I'll bring this to a conclusive end, and give you the answer you so desire. However, in accordance with the principle of equivalent exchange, I must also demand from you what I need.
As you wish.
Don't you care to know what the price might be?
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan and her survival. This may be the only time I can ever save someone's life. There is no need for me to think twice.
I see. In that case, let the show begin.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you intend to prove Thanatos' whereabouts and prove the nature of our existence now?
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. They are merely two different ways of telling us about what the soul is at its core. The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now, but that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes. That's not all. Remember how I said you were a part of that conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Of course you would remember, because that wasn't you. That was Calypso, one of the 7 sages of the Grove.
Calypso?
That's the name I made up on a whim when speaking to this girl. How do you know of it? And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree? Don't you claim to know the Grove's past like the back of your hand?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. The living cannot step foot into that world. So who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness, yet you have no idea who she is? The answer is evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans, because they all evolved from one. Does this answer disappoint you?
Yes, because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once human, as you claim, then where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts. How are we to find them?
I knew you would say that. But it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
You can revive a Titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. Just like what you did to me. If I'm reborn as Kefali, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did. Simple, is it not?
I have news from Hyacinth and Danhung. Anaxa might be trying to do something with Kefali's divine body.
Kefali? But what could Anaxa want? Is the Council of Elders going to sit around and let such a sacrilegious act unfold?
That is not possible. He is indeed the great performer, capable of fooling anyone and everyone with his tricks.
I'm sorry.
No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found themselves a traitorous ally. Anaxa's ambitious desires will be something we can exploit. What we should be doing now is to keep our eyes peeled for whichever trickery Kainis is up to, and react accordingly to thwart her plans. Being Akima's political center, the Demigod Council holds just as much significance as the Vortex of Genesis. Someday, after my duty is over, this site will take the place of the battlefield where you hunt gods, become the next challenge you ought to overcome. Till then, it's best to get used to this place as soon as possible.
Preposterous! The Christos only have their standing because of the Council of Elders! How dare they trample over it!
It's been a while. That's fine. I recognize you. The young lord has nothing but good words about your courage.
It has indeed been some time, Lord Krateros. What brings you here in such haste?
Shh, keep it down. Be more vigilant. See those duplicitous dogs over there? They do the dirty work for Kainis. I've already ordered my people to hold them back, but we should still lay low. Unless you're itching for a bloody fight to get a workout in.
My bad. So, did something happen?
Did you hear thunderclaps last night? Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a message from the young lord. He threw a spear bearing several words at Akama.
Watch out. The Flame Reaver is back.
I guessed as much. We didn't actually kill them back at the Kremnos Arena.
I figured this is something you would want to know. We Kremnoans never back down from a fight. So if you plan to take that thing down in a battle, reach out.
You have my gratitude. I will let Aglaya know about this right away.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. That vicious kindness has been unusually active lately. Those lackeys she keeps undercover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these days. Some even seem to be getting Kremnoans to defect to the council.
That's...
Looks like you can see it for yourself.
We should get back. Thank you for the intel, Lord Crateros.
Sound lingers.
Let's wait.
But a Catholic into Lenten above, as the Theoros I have observed.
Aglaya, what happened?
I know about the poisonous fangs of that king snake through the golden threads. In the past, I would be confident about keeping her in check, but I admit I am now unable to do so.
What do you mean?
It is no longer about eloquence or arguments. I have been a demigod for far too long that I hardly have any humanity left. Before I realized it, I have become no different from these hypocrites, no longer capable of relating to the people. This has come a lot sooner than I expected. But perhaps it is time. I need you to step up, Finan, in order for me to retreat behind the scenes.
Yes, this is my duty, but...
It is far easier for the Council of Elders to fool many than just fool one person. Their so-called more support is no more than a ruse to distribute power using words, and there is no glory in winning this debate. But that makes having respect for humans so much more priceless. Finan, you are a Chrysos heir without flaw, capable of relating deeply with humans.
I appreciate what you've taught me, Aglaya. I hope we'll live up to your expectations and win this debate.
Oh, you've done well, Lord Calictus. Let me take over and personally close this debate for today. Dearest counselors, let it be known that I sorely miss the blissful times portrayed in lyrical poems. Back then, Amphorius was home to nearly 1,000 cities, each with their own local faith, while gods walked the earth and shared close bonds with humans. Yet, in the present, people from all over are forced to leave their homeland to seek refuge in the holy city, where they hope to rest under Kefali's protection. All of us have long been in the same boat, with no way out of this plight. We didn't have a choice in the past, but now, the Council of Elders brings to the table a new possibility. All I have left is one question for you. Would you rather strive toward the unheard of Era Nova, or return to the prosperous Era Chrysia of our past? Make your choice. Now, which of the two would lead mortals to an ideal future?
We all know that Era Chrysia is a thing of the past, Lady Kindness. Please, enlighten me. How does the Council of Elders plan to turn back time?
Let the three Titans of Calamity be born, and Eracrysia is nevermore. But bring demise to those Titans, and Eracrysia will descend upon us again. Know that the Council of Elders is never one to make empty promises. Look at who we have on our side. Anaxagoras, one of the Grove's 7 sages, and Castorus, Idonia's goddess of death. With the help of these 2 heroes, I can promise all of you that Eracrysia will exist once more.
Aren't they Chrysos heirs? They're supporting the Council of Elders instead?
It's clear from the start that these heroes do not get along well in their group. All the more proof that Aglaia isn't fit to speak on behalf of every Chrysos heir. I am in favor of Eracrysia.
Eracrysia! Castorus? Why are you standing over there?
You finally arrived, Anaxa. So have you.
Don't worry, Aglaia. Well, I know that you have many queries. Could you continue to converse like how the citizens normally do? Tell me, dear citizens, if we successfully retrieve and return Thanatos' core flame without anyone passing the Death Titan's trial, what would happen next?
The answer is simple. We will have a chance to rid the world of death and bring Amphorius back to an era when all beings live forever. We'll usher in a new future that will be entirely different from the flame chase journey.
He's one of the 7 sages.
Your proposal is much too idealistic. As long as the Black Tide still exists, how can we go back to the old days?
Remember what I previously said? Kefali's core flame is guarded by the secret power of the Council of Elders. Plus, Fagusa's water curtain will be able to block out any external perceptions. Tell me, dear citizens, have any of you ever seen even a glimpse of the threat that this person is talking about anywhere within the walls of this majestic holy city?
Oh. Could it be that you heard that from the Flame Reaver themselves? Citizens, let's loudly sing the blessed hymn. Oh, beautiful old world, where are you now? Oh, legendary Eracrysia, return to the mortal realm!
After the destruction of the 3 Titans of Calamity, the Flame Chase journey will have to end.
Eracrysia! Yes!
This is bad. The masses are now totally riled up.
Anaxa, pray tell. Everything that you've mentioned hinges on the premise that we can find Thanatos' existence, right?
Thank you, Lady Aglaia, for still caring about this city. However, dear citizens, we are truly fortunate and blessed. For Castorus, Idonia's goddess of death, will surely find Thanatos under my guidance.
What?
With that, I solemnly promise that the core flame Lady Castorus brings back will be personally managed by the Council of Elders. Thereafter, if we are able to garner the support of all of you at the Citizens' Assembly, we shall spare no effort in ensuring that the Eracrysia will return to our world once again.
With the balance shattered, the result is clear. By Kefali and Talent above, as the Theoros I have observed. Akama has chosen her destiny. The issue up for discussion at this Citizens' Assembly shall be modified to the suspension of the Flame Chase journey. This resolution shall be put up on the Wall of Heroes, such that all citizens are aware of the city's way forward.
Aglaya, dear Aglaya. What has caused your heart to soften? You also don't seem to be as quick-witted as before.
Wag your tongue as much as you like. Since the Flame Chase journey has been preordained by the prophecy, our failure has never been on the cards.
Well then, I guess we'll find out if that's true at the Citizens' Assembly.